Mm, mm. Okay. Yep. Just should be able to come up automatically. Okay. GM man, how's it going?
Mic check, mic check, mic check. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay. Is this everybody that's coming? Should be some
Uh,
more people, no? Should we wait a little bit?
yeah. Wait till 4 p.m. That's 2 p.m. UTC. Then the calendar will notify everybody. So we just wait one
Okay.
more minute. Then give it some time for others
Okay.
to join. Mhm.
All right. Let's do that then.
Okay. I hope the screen is visible.
Lula. Lula, what up?
Yeah, guys, request the mic and come up. If you want to say something, you want to see GM, feel free to request and I'll bring you up.
I think they're good. They're just chilling in the background. They want to be passive.
Okay, someone has requested. Okay, that's the alarm, 4 o'clock. So someone requested now. Yeah, I've accepted the
Lula
request.
says GM.
Mm-hmm.
Lula says GM, Jim.
Adeleke is up. GM, how's it going?
But good. Thanks for the opportunity. And
I
then
can hear you, boys. Low
I
from
look
my
for.
end.
Okay, I'm not audible.
You
Am I audible now?
Yep, you're audible.
Oh boy, good noise. Am I audible now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to say, GM, thank you so very much for giving me the mic.
Mm-hmm.
I am grateful for the progress I've made so far. Thanks for enlightening us on the last class about the steps to take to land jobs. I look forward to learning more about the etiquette,
Yeah.
getting to know how
Awesome,
the
awesome.
whole thing works. Thank you so very much. I appreciate the code. I appreciate Mumbai. I appreciate Hyperlink. God bless the management. I just wanted to say GM. I'm looking forward to learning today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Awesome,
you
brother.
for
Good to have you here, man. Good to have
yeah, thank you for coming up and always showing up. You mentioned you are not able to send in your CV because I created a channel yesterday for our talent to kind of like Finn gave an assignment. Everybody should have a CV.
Yes,
So I created a
I
channel.
tried to attach the PDF,
Mhm.
the one I had. I will have to revamp it, but it's not showing the attached file
Okay, let me review the permissions.
icon on my side. So I just have to reach out.
Okay, I'll review the permissions and see that after this call. So you should be able to do that. So please,
Sorry,
others, if
sir.
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Were you saying something? Adeleke, you're muted. I thought you wanted to say something. But others, if you have not created a CV yet, we had a how to land a remote job class with Finn. day before yesterday. Part of what we learned is that you need to have a CV if you're applying for these jobs. So, and we created a chart to make
Hypo,
sure.
you, you have the CV for me, right? Because I wanted to break down a little bit how the CV should look. You have it ready, right?
Yes. Your CV is also shared in the chat, so everybody should be able to
Yes,
see
yes, sir.
that. If you've not checked that chart out, please check it out. Create your own CV. We have a sample.
GMGM.
We have a, yeah, Gem. We have a sample from Van. So check it out. Create your CV as well and share it in the chat. We can review it together and yeah. So GM Sultana, how's it going? Nice.
Yeah, Jim, I like this is my first time in this place. I don't know. I know from Faye, he told us we'll be having a class on remote work etiquette and all, but I never knew they've started. In fact, I know a lot of my classmates are also waiting.
Okay.
So, like, I have no idea. In fact, now it just popped up on my PC now that is a class going on. So, I don't know. Probably we should just get it out there more because a lot of people do not know. I was not aware either. Maybe I was not active enough. I don't know, but I'm just knowing about this.
Okay.
Yeah, Hypo, maybe
Yeah. This
you can
this this
inform
has
the
okay. This has actually been in the calendar for since last week, and every call, everyone should get a notification. Provided your internet is on, you should see a pop-up notification for every call that is ongoing in this particular channel. So, and I also sent the Fridays, the Wednesdays on to all the chats, tagging everyone in the respective channel. So, I'm not sure why you didn't get the notification prior to now.
Okay,
I
it's
guess
okay. It's
he's
nice to hear anyway. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Just wait a couple more minutes and see if others will join in.
Hypo, you're gonna be recording this, right?
Yeah, I'm recording this one. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
For Finn's Zone, we're not able to record. I was not on my PC that particular day. So Finn has volunteered to rerun the class. We had a couple people joining, but yeah, we're still gonna have another of that same class, and the date will be communicated as well.
Okay, let me text real quick a few in a couple other group chats with Mesh and with Ladies Transport, and I'll get back, and then after that we can start.
Okay. Great, great. internet bad?
Okay, I think we can go ahead and start.
Okay, great.
Hypo,
Let's.
you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Is the music still playing?
I don't hear it. Can the guys check and see if they hear it? Because I don't hear it.
Okay, yeah, no problem, no worries.
Maybe they can just hit a no or a yes in chat.
I've moved the pots down. Okay, thank you, no problem. So the slides
I
is
can't.
up. I hope you can see my screen, everybody. If you can see it, please type yes in the chat, or any one of you on the stage can confirm you can see my screen. Unmute and say you can see my screen if you're on the stage. Okay, yeah, they can see my screen. That's great. That's great. That's
I
great.
can see us. I can see us.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. All right, Van. You're good to go.
All right, my check, my check. Can you guys hear me? I guess you guys can hear me. Okay, no one's interjecting. So I'll just go ahead and start. So again, guys, it's my name is Van, and today we're going to be talking about workplace etiquettes in the remote environment and why this is important. It's very, very important. Oh, by the way, before I continue, if you guys hear some noises in the background, it's because some people are working on my house, just to let you guys know. But why workplace efficacy is important in the digital space. It's for many reasons, which we're going to get into, but you need to understand that it's entirely different when you're shifting into this type of environment because the onus is more on you as an individual to take initiative to get actions completed in a considerable time frame. Um, Ivo says he says you've minimized the application.
Oh,
Can everybody see the application?
Yes. Yes, I can see it.
are we back
I
up?
can see it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, are we back up?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay, awesome. So yeah, so this is what we're going to be diving into. And yeah, Hyper, you can go to the next slide. Hypo, can you go to the next slide? Yes. Awesome. So one of the things that you guys need to be very much in tune with is how the workplace environment will work, right? So when you guys are having, for instance, video conferences, which will be quite frequent, this is going to be the new form of meetings for you because you won't be having physical meetings. You need to have your camera on first. And if they say it's okay to turn it off, then turn it off after. Why? Because this creates more of a human connection. You're able to visibly see the person's nonverbal language. And so to see like if they're serious or not, or if they're uh, actually doing the task they say they're going to do. It's just a way to really gauge uh, the sincerity of what the person is saying from the managerial perspective, right? So always have your camera on first, and then you can have it off after, right? Very, very important. Try to have a professional background, so either white or and just have like, you're gonna be working for a tech company, so at least just have like a regular t-shirt on, nothing too like crazy. Like don't try not to do the gym attire at first. First feel out to see how the employer is and to see if they're okay with that type of thing. But at the very minimal, you need to have a t-shirt on. You don't need to go full on out with a suit or something like that, right? Um, but please have like a regular like black t-shirt or plain t-shirt on, nothing too crazy. And yeah, and like I said, you need to feel the way out with the company and the company's sort of ethos and how they operate, right? And also another thing too as well is the uh again, the background noises needs to be very, very minimal. I know you guys could probably hear a little bit of the background noise. Hopefully not, but if you can, I'm really sorry about that. It should be very minimal to no background noise when you're having these meetings. It's very important because it creates an environment for the managerial team that you're not taking it serious or you're distracted during the meetings. And so they don't want you to be, and also it's hard for them to hear sometimes, right? And then also as well, you want to mute your mic. So the muting etiquette, which I'm sorry about that, guys. So the muting etiquette is also very important because if someone is speaking and you have your mic on and they have background noise in the background, well, then it's very much so disrespectful, right? In that type of environment. So you want to make sure that your mic is muted at all times unless you're asked to be spoken or to speak, for that particular meeting. So these are things that you really want to be very cautious of because it will irritate managerial teams and then make them not want to take you serious moving forward. So Hyper, you can go to the next slide. And so this is about the type of ways in which you will be communicating, right? So email and instant messaging, some of the best practices. So you can see informative subject lines, craft action-oriented subjects for higher open rates, right? So depending on what kind of job you'll be doing, you may need to, for instance, be the one that's maybe part of the sales team and you're trying to target a specific audience within that sales team. This is just an example, by the way. And you want to make sure that the subject on the email, which is again, this is stuff they're going to retrain you on whenever you start working, is enticing enough to make somebody want to open the email. And if you're trying to hit higher managerial staff, you want to also make sure that it's urgent, right? You want to put urgent in the subject so that to make sure that they see that email and they're able to be responsive as quickly as possible. So again, clear subjects increase open rates by 26%, right? Open rates is when they are opening an email. So this is stuff that you, again, will probably get retrained on when you do get employment. But this is something I just want to really touch on because it's very important when you're conducting emails. Also, you want to be very respectful. You also usually want to end with very respectfully at the end of your email with your header and etc. And you also want to make sure that they know your title and position within the company when you're sending out these emails. So these are things that they're probably going to even think that you already know how to do. But if you don't know how to do, hopefully they'll be able to then retrain you on that. But this is something that you want to definitely keep in mind. And then also your tone matters a lot. So please always say please and thank you. Even if you're get up in a position where you're able to give directives to others, you want to always be very respectful because these are human beings. These aren't robots that you're dealing with, right? Not yet, at least, because artificial intelligence and AI agents are coming. We're going to have a course on that too, as well, if you guys are interested for the second cohort. But keep things very, very professional with your tone. Again, please and thank you. Again, this increases the response rates by 15%. And then the third thing you want to do is you want to prompt response times. So manage responsiveness and meet expectations. Most expect to respond within an hour. So you want to be managing that to follow up on an email. So say you hit up one of your managerial staff, they didn't hit you back within that first hour or 2 hours. Depending on what you've discussed with your managerial team on response times, if it exceeds that response time, you already want to go ahead and take the initiative to send another email out, right? So again, initiative is very important in the visual space because it requires you to be taking actionables at all times, right? To showcase, hey, I did this, but then this didn't happen. I did this. You didn't wait again on another directive. So you'll find sometimes, at least I found sometimes working in the African economy, that people kind of wait for the next directive when they can already maybe take initiative to do the next directive if it's applicable, right? Sometimes it's not applicable, but when it is applicable, then go ahead and take that initiative to go ahead and do what needs to be done without waiting on somebody to tell you, because that's also going to help you with upward mobility within the company too, as well, much faster than you just staying and earning a smaller salary. Depending on what kind of work that you will be doing, depending on the skill set that you've learned in Helicode, right? Whether that's Web3 marketing or technical writing or Web3 researcher and so on, they expect you to be proactive as much as possible. And also try to, if you can't follow up an email and if email isn't working, use other outlets too as well. So this is why we're having the courses conducted in Discord. It's very strategic why we did that, because working with a Web3 company, it's very community oriented, and the main platforms that they utilize are Telegram and Discord to be able to propagate conversations, right? So because of that, we wanted to get you guys familiarized with how Discord works, because that will be one of the channels you may just be working on. You may just only be working on Discord. So you want to get very familiarized with Discord. I hope that this course helped you get somewhat familiarized with Discord and how it works. And you see, you could even do things like become a community manager, which is part of the marketing as well. As you see what Hypo does. Hypo is our community lead, right? And you can get paid for that. So he helps with all of the community management from Twitter to Telegram to Discord, orchestrating and organizing all of the events, planning and everything. So he's been a blessing to have on our team. And this is basically one of the jobs that you could be looking to get, right? Where you would be the one that would be orchestrating all of this and setting this up. So yeah, just keep that in mind. We can move on to the next slide now. Okay, yeah. So again, the community channels or communication channels. So there's again multiple communication channels that you would be utilizing. SMS could be one depending on if you're working more locally. So if we're able to prioritize and find you work locally, which would be better for you because you would be able to speak the local language and etc. And before we outsource more to the global market, we definitely want to try to look internally and intercontinentally to see if we can find you guys positions for people that are looking for specialists or expertise such as yourselves that you guys have learned during these duration of these courses. But if it's not applicable, then we would then expand out globally. But again, some preferred form of communications again would be email, SMS if it's more local, and then again project management and task tracking platforms. If you look at, for instance, Discord or Telegram, or if you look at things like Notion, and these are so many different platforms. We didn't really get to touch on all of these because it's quite a lot. And these are kind of things you kind of learn on the go, or you can YouTube and Google yourselves if they ask you to get familiarized with said platform. Again, you want to be very much so taking initiative to learn these things and say, if for instance, if you have a job interview, which is what me and Fian are going to try to set up for you guys, if there's a task that they ask you that you do not know or aren't familiar with, don't just say I don't know. Say I will find it out. You know what I mean? Say something like towards the lines of I don't know, but I know where to find the information. So that way it makes them think in their head, oh, this person likes to take initiative, right? And anybody that's an employer loves people that take initiative and are willing to learn new skills to advance their career progression, in their particular niche. So never ever just say I don't know. Say I don't know, but I'll find out. Because there's no excuse to not know anything. Like how to explain this in a way that articulates and make it make sense. So there's no way in this planet now, because of the internet and the age of information, that you can't find something that you don't know, right? You can always find out anything on this planet that you don't know through using YouTube, through using Google, through using ChatGPT, right? To be able to source that information. You guys are all familiar with ChatGPT, right? You can just hit a yes in the chat box if you guys are. Adelicate, you said I'm interested. What are you interested in? Can you just text in the chat what you're interested? Everyone else just hit yes or no if you guys understand what I'm saying so far. Just want to make sure everyone's on the same page. Just please hit a yes or a no. Yes, Lula says yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. The AI agents. Awesome, awesome. Yeah. So with the I don't want to go too off on a tangent from this course, but I'll just stay real quick about the AI agents and why they're important. Um, so companies are looking to figure out a way in which they can create smaller and smaller teams. So less people, but more efficiency. And this is happening through AI, right? So soon we're going to be introducing courses that allow you to upskill your current skill set leveraging artificial intelligence. So the future work is going to be you leveraging artificial intelligence in some capacity, whether that's the simple basic level of what people understand like ChatGPT. I'm sure everyone understands ChatGPT, right? To more advanced things like large language models and AI agents and things of this nature, right? And AI tools and toolkits that you can use and leverage to streamline workplace processes, right? So that's going to be how the future of work works because companies at all times are trying to figure out ways to cut costs, right? So the people who know how to leverage these tools are going to have a strategic advantage over people who don't, right? Because as you guys know, the labor market's very competitive. And one of our selling points with HeliCode and how we're working on getting you guys contracts is that we can give more cost-effective labor. Because paying a $2,000 a month salary in America is trash. Getting a $2,000 salary in Nigeria or in Ghana is amazing, right? So $2,000 won't even last you like a week and a half in America, and in most locations. So that's just how it works. But in Africa, I mean, that's great. So the point is, the real play is for us to get you to a point where you're able to earn digitally in dollars and don't have to leave Africa. So the liquidity comes here, you're able to use it, spend it, and invest and reinvest back on the continent. But with AI agents, again, I don't want to go too off on tangent. I just want to say real quick, for those who are interested, companies are looking for people who are going to be able to build them, manage them, and deploy them, right? And so that way you would have your own team of AI agents and they would be trained on a specific task. And that task could be anywhere from email marketing to sales to business operations to copywriting to all these different tasks that business needs to be able to be successful. And you would be able to manage all of those tasks to be more efficient. Eventually, we'll get to a point where there will only be one person $1 billion businesses, right? It sounds crazy, but that's where we're headed towards as we get more lean. And so, yeah, it's very, very interesting stuff. Again, I don't want to get too much off on a tangent. Hyper, you can go to the next slide. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. But yeah, so cybersecurity is huge, guys, because you're working digitally. So there may become a point in time, which is more likely than not, where you would get access to company passwords and usernames and or be able to get access to back end or front end management tools or platforms, right? Such as like, let's say LinkedIn or LinkedIn Sales Navigator, or you would get access to a particular, let's say, a list of, for instance, if you're a crypto researcher, right? You would maybe be able to get access to particular projects that are launching that other people don't have access to, and they maybe have signed NDAs, right? With that venture capital. NDAs, for those who don't know, is non-disclosure agreements, right? And those would get signed if they do not want certain information out to the general population, but they would give it to you to be able to do extensive research as a researcher to bring that information back to the venture capital firm so they can make a decisive, analytically driven decision on if they should invest in that particular project or not, right? And so that's why cybersecurity is very, very important, because if you lose or get in a position where you compromise passwords or usernames for the company, it could be detrimental to the company. It could cost them money, and it could cost them a lot on IP, right? They can maybe potentially steal IP, and even on a worser end, they can maybe even steal money, right? Depending on what kind of job that you're doing for that particular company, and what kind of accounts that you had access to. If you know you're a copywriter, maybe they give you access to a Medium page, and now somebody's hacked the Medium page, and now he's writing gibberish or a whole bunch of BS, maybe on Twitter or like I said, in this copywriter example in the Medium page, and you end up, messing up the company's brand because of that, and then you'll get fired. So it's very important that you password protect. You make sure that you're aware of phishing scams. So for those who don't know, phishing scams are when people try to leverage emails to pretend as if they're one of the company's management to basically get access to your information, right? And once they have your information, they can get access to what you have access to, and they could maybe get access to the entire Discord channel if you're a community manager or something. And that's very detrimental to a company. This is why I really love working with Hypo, because Hypo understands these things. And as you see, Helicode is still thriving. uh, so really appreciative of that and his ability to keep those things safe and secure. And also, file sharing is very important, that you use the company SOPs, because the company will send you an SOP of what they expect on what channels to use to file share or what platforms they want you file sharing on. Also very important, because there may be valuable IP that they don't want out in the general population, and they may want you to send it a certain way that makes sense for them. So this is why you got to follow the protocol accordingly. It's very important. It may not seem like it's important, but trust me when I tell you, there's a lot of scammers on the internet looking for opportunities like that to take advantage. So it's up to you to really manage and really pay attention to phishing, cybersecurity, and etc. So yeah, move on to the next slide. All right, so time management and productivity and staying focused. This is very important, guys. So you need to set a schedule and create that daily routine for yourself and adhere to a structure, right? You need to. So the problem with remote work that a lot of people have is that they're not capable of living. They need to be in an environment. Some people just need to be in a business type of physical office to be able to be productive, while others don't. They just take initiative. So we'll see, when we start getting you guys employment, how you guys are going to be acting, throughout the duration of your employment contract, right? It's very, very important. But we want you guys to really understand that you can get fired very, very quickly. Usually, a lot of these contracts is independent contractor contracts. So maybe they may use you for a month and then they can just fire you because they realize that you're not the right person. So it's very important that you work with initiative and with purpose every single day, completing all the tasks. And if you haven't been given a task, ask for task, right? Of what you can do, or think of things you can do to optimize the business without them having to tell you, right? Whether it's you're a researcher, you're a technical writer, and maybe you could be like, hey, Medium articles are cool, but maybe we should also post on LinkedIn, add value, right? And that's how you make yourself more irreplaceable, right? Because as you guys know, we're entering this age of artificial intelligence and the exponential growth phase of technological advancements. So companies are looking to use technology to replace humans as much as possible, right? So your job is to try to make yourself as valuable as possible, and so that you are irreplaceable to that organization. So always add value, set a schedule, minimize your distractions. I know you guys can get distracted, especially depending on what day it is, and I know here in Ghana, there's a lot of churches here, and it gets pretty loud and etc. So depending on what kind of environment you are in, try to minimize as much distractions as you possibly can. Maybe you need to go to a library or you need to go to a workspace, right? So if you're getting paid enough, then maybe you use some of those funds to get to a workspace that's very comfortable and quiet for you to engage in. And don't forget to also take breaks in between. It's very, very important that you understand that you're not a robot, but at the same time, you understand that you have obligations to fulfill, right? So there needs to be a work-life balance. And also avoid multitasking sometimes, is what I would say. I put this down because I multitask, right? But for you guys, you need to be more narrow focused at first, but understand that eventually the company is going to want you to branch out, to do multiple things at one time, because they want to increase the amount of labor capacity they can get from you in exchange for the money they're giving you, right? So that's just a given. So, and again, always try to see without them telling you where you can add more value, right? You should always be active trying to see, where can I add more value? How can I add more value? How can I be more value? And don't ask them, look and spot opportunities, right? Don't have them always have to do the thinking for you. You have to be able to think on your own as an independent contractor sometimes too, as well, to get the best maximum capacity from the employer, right? So yeah, let's move on to the next slide. All right. So building relationships remotely, right? So this is very important because, as you guys know, the people that are going to hire you, you're never going to more than likely meet them in real life, right? There's a very small possibility. If it's a big company, it's more likely that they could maybe fly you in for like a quick like business trip or to meet everybody. But more than likely, these teams are very remote and very lean. So everyone knows everybody. So try to also get familiarized with who you're working with, how they like to work, the styles in which they like to work, the styles of communication that they have. So you'll be working more than likely with global teams. And even if it's intercontinentally, more than likely it's going to be Africans from different parts of Africa. And if it's more on a global scale, you're going to be working for people with different levels and understanding of English. So um, obviously English is a requisite to be able to work in a global team, but just know that there's going to be different accents, different tonalities, vernaculars, and so on. And give people a level of appreciation too as well. When you see that they're doing a good job, tell them, hey, thank you. Or if they helped you with something, tell them thank you. It's also very important. And always, 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 always ask for feedback or give feedback on how maybe if they ask you to do a task, you could tell them, hey, this wasn't communicated the best possible way for me to be the most efficient. So if you could communicate it like this, then it would be better for me, right? I don't know how it's been. Everyone's from different parts of Africa in this Helicode Academy, but I know in some regions they teach you to the boss is the boss, and you just wait and take orders. But it's very different. That's one thing I want to really emphasize to you guys. In a digital economy, it's completely different than anything you've ever experienced, right? So you're going to be more interactive. You're going to be communicating more and re-communicating often because it's not like a physical space where they can literally show you exactly what they want. In the digital realm, it's much you might have to get it again, or can you re-articulate that in a way that makes more sense, right? Just to make sure that you've got exactly what they want. Team building is very important. So you're going to be working again with very small teams, and you're going to be in usually hyper intensive environments. From a lot of companies that we're sourcing for you guys, it's going to be mainly startups, and so they're usually operating very lean, and you need to be very aggressive with them. So you need to be moving with speed, diligence, and initiative. So those are the things that I would tell you guys when it comes to building relationships remotely. So happy you can go down to the next slide. So, conclusion, embracing the future of work. Remote work is here to stay. Etiquette is key to success. Be productive, respectful, and enjoy the digital workplace. Commit to mindfulness and interactions. Use available resources for learning. Again, that last line, use available resources for learning. So, there's going to come many points in time where you're going to have to be a little bit uncomfortable. What I mean by that is they may ask you to do a task that you don't know how to do. But again, what did I tell you guys earlier? Everything is on the internet. So just take a deep breath, relax, and just ask ChatGPT or go on YouTube, right? If you want a visual representation of the explanation. So everything that you need is on the internet. So there's no need and no excuse for you not to be able to solve a problem that they give to you and or to achieve anything that they ask of you, right? You just have to adjust because it's a startup. So again, like I told you, a lot of times they're going to be operating more lean, and they're just going to need you to work very diligently, quickly, and learn things fast. Learn fast, analyze fast, apply fast, or you'll just get replaced. That's just unfortunately the realities of the digital space, right? Many people want to work digitally, but many people don't want to put in the correct effort to sustain their work contract for long periods of time. So we can get you in the door, but we can't help sustain that worker to employer relationship, right? So that's what I would say with that. Does anybody have any questions? Can you just hit yes or no in the chat, and then we can move on to the resume building. Hit yes or no. If you have a question, you can just please just put it in the chat. You guys still with me?
Yes, we are with you.
Okay. So no to the. Oh wait, no. There's more people texting. Let's see. Awesome.
Yeah, yeah, I have a question.
Please.
Uh, Most times in crypto, like the demand for quality people is high. Like it's really hard getting in as an intern or like a young person just finding his way in a particular profession in crypto. I don't know if anyone is finding it hard also, but like it's very, very hard penetrating. I think for me, it's more about networking.
What's your skill set?
Web3 marketing.
Yes. So with Web3 marketing, yes, it is about partly about network. Everything in life is about networking, to be honest. And this again, this is why we build Helico to streamline that process for you, right? So to make it easier for you and leveraging our brand, leveraging our networks that me and Fian have built over the past 5 years, in the blockchain space. So we've been in this space very long, building projects, networking with people. I have a wide range of networks, ranging from Stanford, their AI and Web3 research labs, where I'm a mentor there, to big companies like Emergo and many other different companies that I've worked with that I'm going to be tapping into aggressively, and continue to tap into. And there's one contract that we anyways, I don't want to speak too much, but we're very close to closing a couple big contracts, right? For you guys. Uh, so just don't worry. We are working with you as you're also working too as well to get employment, and we don't want to fail you guys because um, we see this as a long-term investment. We built this for a long-term investment in the human capital of Africa. You understand? So it's very much important and imperative for us to get you employment as quickly and as swiftly as possible. So we're going to be working very diligently. But you guys also have to be playing your part, doing all the things that the instructors have advised to as well, to make it more of an easier process for us to be able to, for lack of a better term, shill you guys, right? Right. So I saw that Isaac Adeleke has a question. He said, please, you mentioned something about contracts. Is it that regarding the time frame, it is part-time or full-time? Yes. So it will depend on the contractor. Some will be part-time, some will be full-time, some will be trial period, some will be internships. It really depends on what they need. But that is when, look, we can only get you guys usually that far, right? What you do after that, then that's why we trying to emphasize to you guys, it's on you, right? If it's on you to now showcase the skill, it's on you to showcase your discipline, it's on you to showcase your initiative, it's on you to showcase your hardworking elements of yourself, right? And if you can't showcase those things, the employer is going to be like, well, what's the need for you? He's not adding enough value, and I don't feel like it was optimized like this work contract, so I'm just going to cancel it and move on to somebody else. And that's how cutthroat it can be for these contracts. So what me and Fian can do is secure contracts for you initially. What we can't conclude is how long the duration is going to be and if they find your value high enough to keep you. I hope that answers your question, Delicate. Just hit yes or no, or in the chat if it answered your question. If no, then you can proceed with another question. Just waiting.
Yeah, if you have questions, please feel free to come up. Request the raise up your hands, and I'll bring you up. Let's have a couple more questions before we move to the next section.
Okay. Okay. He said it's good. The question was answered. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Danny, what up? Onassis, what up, bro? What's up? What's up? Okay. Awesome. So I guess we can move on. Yeah, we can move on then. All right. Awesome. So guys, this is a really good resume. Um, so this is just something that I've done in the past, and it's worked really well for me. So as you can see, what one of the things that you'll notice about resume building, it shouldn't be more than one page. Again, I repeat, do not make it more than one page. Why? The reason is because most HR representatives are looking at hundreds of these per day. Again, they're looking at hundreds of these per day. They don't have time for you to write. Listen, the one thing that you guys have to understand, they don't care about you. They only care about what value you could provide for them. Okay, that's just the reality of the situation. They have no idea who you are. They don't care about that you won some achievement. But put the very important stuff that they need, the key words they're looking for, that's going to help add more value to the job that is represented in the job description, right? So read the job description properly, look at it thoroughly, see if your skill sets fit with that job description, and then only tailor. So the thing is with resumes, you have to tailor it to each specific job description. This may sound hard because this is what a lot of people do. They make one resume and then they blast it out to like 1,000 people or 100 people. That does not work, right? I'll tell you that firsthand when I was looking for work as a manager in Germany before I got my first managerial role when I was in Germany. Uh, Blasting out emails that aren't critiqued or tailored to the job description with keywords, it means that it's basically the same thing as doing push-ups that aren't 90 degrees on the downside and straight on the upside, right? It's just you're doing it wrong. If that makes sense. So you're just wasting your time. So unfortunately, you're going to have critique each job or each resume to every single job description because maybe there's nuances, right? Maybe they want you to do Web3 marketing with some community management or with some moderation. Do you have that skill set? Probably not, but you can say that you may not have the skill set, but maybe just put it down that you've worked on this, and this that gives you some skills of moderation or some skills of community management, right? And that you've worked with Helicode with this and you've done this. You got to showcase your portfolio, right? Because that's what they want to see. They want to see what has they worked on, what have they been working on. This is why we're very adamant about giving you guys hands-on experience. Because Hypo, I think you've okay, it's back on. Yeah, we're very adamant about giving you guys hands-on experience. Okay, someone's texting. Hold on. Lucent one is texting. Let me see. Oh, so while Lucent one is texting, I just see Onassis texting too as well. He said, "Good, bro. Awesome." Okay, so I'll continue until they finish their text. So you need to tell the main thing, like I said, you need to tailor each resume to that specific job description with the keywords in the job description. Moderator, community manager, technical writing for X, Y, and Z, medium article writer for this. Uh, cybersecurity, blah, 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 right? Researcher that can do blah, 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 blah. And then that's when you go ahead and you fluff up your resume, right? I'm not telling you guys to lie on your resume, but what I'm saying is to use the correct language that they would like to hear. And you know, the best part about resume building nowadays, it's easier than ever because of AI. So all you need to do is literally copy the job description and tell them to tell the chat GPT to prompt it to tailor a resume that would be the highest probability of success with the right keywords based off of that job description, right? If you prompt it and tailor it to the job description, you can literally just copy a job description, put it in ChatGPT. It will auto-populate you the correct kind of resume to write, and then you can fill in where your workplace expertise is for that particular resume, right? I hope that makes sense. Okay, so someone says, I can't see your screen. Can everyone see Hypo's screen? Can everyone see Hypo's screen? If you just hit yes or no if you can see Hypo's screen.
My screen is still up. I don't
Okay,
know.
Danny
Yes.
says yes. I think it's a problem with you, Onassis. You might have to go out and come back in. There's probably an issue with you. And so another guy, Lucent One, he writes, "Sir, can you work on making the CV channel able to allow us to send in our CVs? Right now, it only says create threads." Okay,
Yeah,
Hypo, you're gonna work on that, right?
yeah. I'll review the permission after this call, and you guys will be able to send in your documents into the chat.
Okay. Awesome, awesome. Just keep funneling the questions in, guys. I'll do my best to answer them. Um, but this is a very, very important lesson for you guys to know, right? So nowadays, because of ChatGPT, it will even do it more efficiently than you could ever do it, right? So you don't even have to do that much work. You can simply just look at a job description, copy it, paste it with parentheses, and tell ChatGPT, write a resume or build me a resume tailored to this particular job description with the correct keywords. And ChatGPT will just do that. It will just populate it. And then you can use that framework. I'm not telling you just to copy what ChatGPT prompts, but use that framework to critique and tailor your resume and make it look nice and sexy. Put a nice photo. Don't look like slouched. Have your chest out. Maybe a little bit of a smile. Some people don't like to smile. That's also okay. Put a nice outfit on. It doesn't necessarily have to be a suit, but just something that looks more globally recognized as professional, right? For this current paradigm that we're in, right? So whether that's like a dress shirt or even a black t-shirt would be okay, but I went with the dress shirt. So when you scroll down here, you can see I did basically you do a 1 or 2 liner about yourself, right? So the about me, I literally did a 1 or 2 liner about what I am, and very important with for the particular thing that I was looking to apply for at that particular time, right? So I just said I have 4 years experience in investing in what makes significant returns through coaching. Paused. Hypo, you still there with me? Hypo. Okay,
Yeah.
so it seems hypo.
Can you hear me? Am I still?
Hypo, you there?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're back on. Okay, so the reason that yes, I can hear you. So yes, you're still there. Okay, so the reason that I put that in the about me was because I was looking to apply for a specific VC to do research, right, for them, which I actually ended up landing that position, right? So that's the reason that I put that, because that's what they want. That's all they wanted to hear. They want to hear that you are actually someone who's actively been helping people uh, gain significant amount of returns on their investment through your research, right? And through your venture capital firm or et cetera, right? And then if you see here on the work experience, I tailored it again to what the VC was looking for. So I did one-on-one investment coaching. I did a Web3 investment research group, which I have, and portfolio structuring, restructuring, and B2B and B2C consulting, right? And then you add some of the highlights that people you've worked with, right? So again, Stanford AI and Web3 Research Labs. And I've been in the Block Dojo incubator where they cut a 5-figure check for me, right? So these are things that they know these people, they know what this is, and they know, oh, this guy has experience with this stuff. So when it comes down to the interview, this is why I tell you don't lie, but you want to make it very, very appealing and attractive for them to be like, oh, that's interesting. I would like to hear more in an interview. You get me? So whatever that is, maybe it's I wrote 1,000 copies of about Bitcoin within the last 90 days. That's interesting, for a technical writing position. That's interesting. And I did this on social media, and I scaled up my personal brand from 100 followers to 500 followers within that time frame. That's interesting. You get me? So now we're at the stage where you can just add value. We're at a stage in life currently today in this current global paradigm where you can just add value. You don't need to ask anyone. You don't need to even work for a company. You can just simply go on social media and add value. And that counts as part of your portfolio that you can reference. This is why we're very adamant about you guys going on social media and adding value. Because that's a way that you can get a free portfolio that you can showcase to employers, right? So, like I said, and also don't put stuff that you did freaking 17 years ago, right? Make it recent. Make it recent within the last 2-3 years, right? You don't want to be, oh yeah, back in 2008, no one cares, because the time frame is moving so fast. No one cares even what you did the last year nowadays, right? So you need to be moving with the times, and then you have your expert skill set, your expertise skill sets on the right side, as you can see, right? I've put some of the skill sets that I have, right? Asset and fund management. This is what they like to hear. Research, because I was applying for a research position. You get me? Investing, venture capital, right? Because I was working with a venture capital firm, right? So put those keywords. And again, if you don't know what the keywords are, just ask ChatGPT. Just copy the job description that the employer has put, and ask ChatGPT how to to rephrase that in the right expertise and the skills, right? Education, this matters a lot less than it used to, but you still just want to put that up if you have it, and also where to and how to contact you. You see, I have it at the bottom there. I have my email, I have my phone number, and I have my website, right? All there where people can go ahead and contact me. So these things are important, right? Because how can they reach you if you just send them? And again, one another angle that you can use, not just the resume building. So let's say you've built the resume perfectly like this. One thing that you should do is look at the company, and you can now, because it's Web3, you can literally jump into their Telegram group or their Discord group and observe them for a week or two. And you don't even have to even drop the resume. You can simply just go ahead and add value. Be like, hey, I noticed that you guys graphics is kind of off. Here are some examples of graphics that I do for marketing, right? And I think these would be better and more convertible because X, Y, and Z. And I've already went ahead and made them for you. Would you like to check it out? You see what I'm saying? So you've already now added value in their community Discord, or community Telegram. Now I'm interested because I'm like, oh, wow, this person actually went and took initiative to actually solve a problem that we didn't even see, or we didn't even have the right person to solve. I'd be more interested to see if we can let this person on board for like a week or two, see how they work, and maybe add them full time as a staff without even doing the resume. Or you can go on email and be like, hey, I noticed, if they don't have a community chat, right? You can just be like, hey, I noticed that blah, 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 blah. I can help here because I've done this in the past, and this is what I've achieved in the past, right? And here's my resume. If you'd like to hear more, let me know, and we can schedule a call. You guys should all have Calendlys. If you don't have a Calendly, please get a Calendly, right? Because then it looks more professional, and it makes it easier and more streamlined for them to schedule a call. Because you don't want to be communicating back and forth. What's your time zone? What's my time? All that shouldn't matter if you have a Calendly, because you can just simply drop your Calendly link. Guys, please reply in the chat yes or no if you understand what Calendly is. Just put yes or no. I'm gonna reply to Lucent while you guys reply to that. If you know what Calendly is, just hit yes or no. Yes, you can use Canva for your Civi, Sultana one. I've seen that. Okay, so Lucent one writes, sir, can we also add an experience that is unrelated to probably writing? I am asking because I'm a delegate and contributor in the Web3 organization, but I added other writing experiences to my CV. Yes, that's fine. Anything that contributes to Web3 that would strengthen your argument for why they should hire you is great. Thank you, Hypo, for dropping that link. So, guys, that is Calendly. Go ahead and get a Calendly, right? So, Calendly is the #1 booking app on the planet. It was made by a Nigerian, and everyone in the world uses it, right? So this guy, just a quick story about him. He put his last $200,000 in savings that he had making from the US and put it all into this project, and he ended up scaling it to $1 billion. And it's the #1 booking app in the world. So please use it and support my boy from Nigeria. So yes, Lucent One, back to what we were talking about with you. Yes, you can put it as long as it's Web3 related, but it should be complementary to the meat and potatoes of what they need. What are your writing skills? What is your portfolio about writing, right? And if you don't have that, and who were you trained by, right? So you being trained by Heritage is a plus. You being trained by Helicode is a plus. Put that in the CV, right? You're being trained by actual Web3 experts. Look who the founders are. They'll look at the founders and be like, wow, these guys are really credible people, right? Use every single angle to your advantage, right? Because they'll look through my stuff. They'll see my podcast. They'll see I've worked with Stanford. They'll see I've worked with Block Dojo. They'll see that and be like, wow, this guy's a credible guy, and he built this to train people on the thing that he's been talking about for so long. So leverage the fact that you were trained by Heritage. Heritage is one of the best Web3 writers, technical writers in the Web3 space, and that's he's been on major podcasts. Just so if you guys didn't know that, right? I hope that answers your question, Lucent. If it does, just hit a yes. Hit a yes if it answers your question. Let me see what else is there. Okay, awesome. So yeah, guys. So this is basically how you want to kind of present it. And again, you see how it's clean, Very simple, not too long. I put quick bullet points of what it is I did. Don't put like 75 sentences per bullet point. Put a quick one sentence, one liner of what you did because no one got time to look at, no one cares. What did you do? Put a couple bullet points. You can do that. Or just, you see, as I put for board of directors, oversees and advises business operations. Very simple, right? I didn't over put all these stuff that no one cares. They just want to see like, okay, what was he actually doing? And because remember, like I told you, these HR reps are looking at 50 to 100 to sometimes 200 of these a day, right? They're exhausted. Their eyes get tired. They don't want to look at stuff that's super long and drawn out. They want to look at stuff that's very small, minute, straight to the point, and it pops, right? Like when you see Stanford, that already pops, right? When you see 4 years of experience in investing in Web3 technology, that pops, you know? When you see the expertise and the skill sets, that pops. So you want things that pop immediately so they can look at like, okay, this is what he does. Okay, got it. That's great. You don't want them to be having to exhaust themselves with you talking about how you saved some kid and did this thing and you joined this youth competition and you ended up no one cares, right? No one cares. They just want the quick bullet points. So bullet points, please, short to the point, one sentence or just half a sentence even. That's what they want. And I know this for a fact because I've worked with multiple HR representatives in the past, and I've worked with people building HR solutions as well. So this is what they look at. This is what they look at. So just to give you guys an idea, let me know if you guys have any more questions. Lucen says, yes, sir, it does. Thank you very much.
Hi,
Appreciate you, Lucen.
Bonboy.
Yes, tell me. What's up? What's up?
Uh, I want to ask a question regarding this resume building thing.
Hmm.
For people like me that just transitioned into Web3 and have zero experiences at all, like zero experience rather. And the only form of experience that we had is the ones that we had in Ellicode or at Ellicode, whichever. How do we create a CV centered around something like that? Because I know you said something about leveraging on the hands-on projects that we had or that we had done and all of that. Do we talk about the assignments that we had also done or what? Because I really need to understand that really.
Yes, exactly. So the assignments themselves, it was to tailor and position you guys to be able to have a form of portfolio building leverage, right? So the reason that we designed it the way we did, because we know exactly what they want to see. I know exactly what they want to see. They want to see that you have some sort of portfolio that you can look to say, hey, these are things that I was working on here for this particular edtech platform that I worked and build this skill set. But then also you need to be actively building on top of that, right? So you need to see, oh, okay, I see you're growing your social media account, or I see that you were able to what I don't know, what niche are you in? Are you in Web3 marketing?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so if you're in Web3 marketing, the best thing you can do as a Web3 marketer is to put out content. That's the best thing. Same thing as a technical writer. You need to be actively putting out content and a relative content to the times that are out currently right now. So if you see certain new news, you know what I will post? I will post a couple of Telegram channels that you can actually follow that keep you up to date on the latest and greatest news on Bitcoin, crypto, the Web3 space, and etc. It keeps you literally up to date. Like when new news comes out, and then all you need to do as a Web3 marketer or technical writer is write about that, right? Talk about it. What is your approach to it? How would you have handled it? Um, and what you think is coming next. You have to be very active, you know what I mean? And become sort of like a pseudo thought leader, if you will, just so you can build a portfolio. Because they want to look at that just to see, like, okay, this person actually knows what they're talking about. It's not about how much followers you have. They don't care about that. They want to know that you know